What's up, guys? So today, I'm joined by ValleyFlyin as we break down the top 10 best and worst orange ability upgrades.
That's right, guys. If you didn't hear, the level cap is being raised to level 70 very soon. And as of this recording, the devs have said they're aiming to raise the level cap as early as this week, so get ready.
Take note, along with level 70 comes the opportunity to spend those orange T4 ability materials, not just on upgrading basic attacks and passives, but on specials and ultimates as well. Due to that fact, this video will be slightly different from our previous collab. In the last video, we were looking at which characters benefited the most from orange abilities, but this time we're ranking each ability individually. We've also gone ahead and added bonus puns with every upgrade, so brace yourselves for maximum cheesiness.
I also want to mention that we're mainly aiming to look at the abilities for characters that are already considered to be demigod or above for at least some of the content. For example, Hydra Sniper gets a huge boost to his special ability at rank 7, but nobody's heavily investing in Hydra Sniper anyway, so we're leaving him out.
That's probably for the best. In addition, this time there's actually going to be a little bonus section at the end for those of you in the 1%. This time around, characters like Nick Fury and Star-Lord actually heavily impact the value of other characters' abilities, but since we understand most players don't have these characters quite yet, we're saving them for afterwards. But alright, enough chit chat, let's get into it. Val, you want to start us off with the winner?
Yes, coming in at number 10 is Hand Sentry for his special. This will apply evade to all allies, not just 4. When you're giving that 5th person on your team evade, it is a big deal. That extra evade could be a dodged Gamora ult or a Crossbones explosion. However, this is especially huge for any content where you get characters added to your team from the campaign or wherever you're running any summoners. This allows Hand Sentry to protect your main team and, for example, provide evade for Yondu Summon Ravagers, which can also be an absolute game changer, especially for content like the raids. A Sentry among Hand is worth 10 given stealth.
That said, coming in at number 10 for the loser list, that's Kingpin. Kingpin's ult gives an additional 10% chance to gain an assist on that specific ability, and it only brings it up to 30% total. I mean, this is absolutely atrocious. An extra 10% chance at an assist might sound only mildly terrible, but the fact that it improves to 30% is the bigger disappointment. Kingpin is already a slug, so you typically only see this ability once per match. That means that this upgrade makes the whopping difference of 1 piddly assist for an extra 1 out of every 10 matches. Just terrible. Boss's orders must be to save your ability mats.
I think it is. But coming in at number 9, Black Panther with his passive. It gives him 100% turn meter on his kill. This is up from 80%, and this is huge. As we demonstrated in the last video, Black Panther stores turn meter. This allows him to go on insane kill streaks. In addition, this ability is now exponentially valuable because recently we learned that assists still grant resets, meaning Black Panther synergizes incredibly well with Miss Marvel. In addition, we know Okoye is due sometime soon, and she will gain the assist buff each time Black Panther takes a turn. So this passive is already strong with the potential for total domination, Wakanda forever, and resets forever.
Resets forever sounds good. Unfortunately, coming in at number 9 on the loser list, that's Ant-Man for his ult. It gives plus 10% damage. This is abysmal. Ant-Man already deals less damage than a bag of cotton balls. Giving him a mere 10% damage increase on his ult is just a slap in this character's face. The only reason this isn't lower on the list is it can hit 10 enemies in campaign and raid, so you might get the tiniest of returns for this investment. At least it fits with his tiny theme. Yeah,
it does. That's a bad one. But coming in at number 8 for his ultimate is Korath. He gets an additional 120% damage. Yes, you heard 120%. He is getting the biggest single target damage boost in the entire game with his ultimate upgrade, adding 120%. This is massive. I mean, this brings the total ability damage up to 570%, which will completely cripple someone on turn 1. Combine this with the guaranteed 2-turn heal block and the fact that Korath benefits further from any enemy death, and you can clearly see why this upgrade takes our number 8 spot. This upgrade is well worth pursuing.
Unfortunately, the number 8 on the loser list goes to another gunner, Winter Soldier, for his basic attack. This grants 5% piercing damage. Poor Winter Soldier. A measly 5% piercing is really weak, especially for a character whose primary function is to deal damage. Because his basic deals mixed damage, this 5% goes a little farther than it seems, but even against heavily armored enemies, where this would make the biggest difference, it would only add 600 more damage to a maxed out Winter Soldier basic. So maybe he should stick to punching people.
Yeah, I think he should. That's not a good basic. But number 7 is a really good passive from Thanos. This is 100% chance to generate 2 energy for himself or an adjacent cosmic ally on his kill. This is up from 75%. Now, the Mad Titan lives up to his name with this upgrade because it is absolute madness. This upgrade immediately bumps Thanos up to being one of the most valuable characters for the raid. Generating 2 ability energy per kill is huge, and against enough enemies, this ability alone enables situations like an adjacent Yondu or Gamora ulting every single turn. This might seem overpowered, but I'd say this ability is perfectly balanced, as all things should be.
Unfortunately, what's lacking in the balance department is number 7 on the loser list, and that is Quake with her passive. It adds 5% focus. It saddens me to see Quake on my loser list. Unfortunately, 5% focus is not much, and Quake already has some of the highest focus in the game, so this improvement will barely make a difference in most cases, as she would succeed in applying her debuffs anyway. I'd recommend that you focus on almost any other upgrade.
Yeah, and this is a good one for you to focus on. It is coming in at number 6. It is Crossbones Ultimate. 70% more damage to detonate. This is big damage. I mean, Crossbones, his big move gets even bigger with this upgrade. The damage dealt by this is already one of the most game-changing abilities in the game. It's going from 440% to 510%, retaining its position as one of the top 3 AoEs in the entire game. When I first saw this upgrade, I was blown away.
But you know what didn't blow me away? That's number 6 on my loser list, and that goes to Hawkeye and his basic. This basic adds plus 5% crit chance. This is a real bummer for Clint. Upgrading a base attack should, at the minimum, make you pack some extra punch. Unfortunately, this only adds crit chance, so you'll only see this improvement for 1 in every 20 basic attacks. This upgrade is dreadful, and it's probably the reason they left him out of Infinity War.
But you know who was in Infinity War? Coming in at number 5 is Rocket with his special. Not only does it give him 30% more damage, it also gives him 100% chance to gain a random ally assist. Huge. And if you run him with Groot, you're looking at 3 guaranteed attacks. Considering this ability is already on turn 1, this upgrade actually allows you to one-shot almost any enemy when paired with Groot and Spider-Man. I live for the little things, like how much more this is gonna hurt.
Speaking of things that hurt, I'd like to mention something that doesn't hurt. Coming in at number 5 on the loser list, Nobu's ultimate. It brings him up to 100% chance to gain a second counterattack stack just for himself. This upgrade is a major letdown. It guarantees a second counterattack for Nobu, which it already provided half the time. In addition, it only affects Nobu and has no impact on the counterattacks he applies to his team. This was already one of the most disappointing ults for an otherwise strong character, and it only disappoints further. Ready the trap? More like ready the crap.
Yeah, but you know what's not crap is number 4, Black Widow with her ultimate. It gives her extra damage, 60% to the primary and 50% damage to chains. Now, this move already was one of the higher damage abilities in the entire game. This upgrade shoots it into the top 5 easily. Not only does it increase the damage to the primary target by a whopping 60% and 50% to each additional chain attack, it also still applies 2 stacks of bleed 2 turns each. And if you didn't know, bleed damage, it scales based on the level of the ability applied to it. So taking Black Widow's ult from level 6 to level 7 increases the bleed damage by another 15% of her base damage. So when you factor in the increase in the primary damage, additional target damage, and bleed damage over multiple turns, it is easy to see why this upgrade delivers so much value. Absolutely stunning.
Indeed. However, a bit more lackluster, coming in at number 4 on the loser list, Crossbones Special, where he gets 50% chance to gain a 3rd counterattack stack. What is there to say about this disaster of an upgrade? Spending 190 orange mats for a chance at an extra counterattack is already a terrible decision, but Crossbones counterattacks actually do quite a bit less than most characters' counterattacks. The logic behind giving him a weak counterattack is that he can apply offense down with them, but this is irrelevant because he's applying that offense down to someone half of a second before their turn ends, which removes the debuff. At least this upgrade fits well with his theme. And by that, I mean it really blows.
Ooh, yeah, it does. But coming in at number 3 is Quake with her ultimate. So, all right, so let me set this up. The average increase to a character's damage with these orange match is it's around 50 to 80% for single target ultimates, but it is way less for most of the ultimate AoEs. Quake's ultimate is a huge exception to that rule. It goes up by 90%. Yes, I said 90 more percent damage on her AoE ultimate. This means a maxed out Quake will deal over 60,000 additional total damage when used against 10 targets. This is an appropriately earth-shattering upgrade.
It is indeed. However, quite a bit less impressive, coming in at number 3 on the loser list, Jessica Jones for her passive. And this gives 5% resistance specifically to city characters. Poor JJ. She's already one of the most underappreciated characters in the game, and this ability is not helping her case. This is just not the kind of return you want to see for 200 orange mats. 5% resistance is not much, and restricting it to city characters means you're unlikely to have more than a couple of these characters on any given team to even be receiving it. Sorry, JJ fans, all you can do is shake it off.
Oh, but this next one's not shaking anything off. Coming in at number 2 is Black Widow's passive, giving her 5% extra speed. Now, this 5%, it might not seem like much, but it makes all the difference in whose Black Widow goes first, which will set the tone for the entire battle. Being able to go just 1 turn before your opponent allows you to speed up your team 1 turn sooner, which allows all of your units to go before their counterparts on the enemy team. For example, if your Crossbones can detonate just before the enemy Crossbones and kill him, or if your vision can ability block an enemy vision and prevent that from happening to you, whew, this upgrade is particularly huge in Arena, but it is a terrific value in any game mode. I'd be quick to upgrade this, to be quick.
Speaking of things moving quick, coming in at number 2 on the loser list, someone who does not move very quick. That's Groot, and this is his ult. Groot's ult gives an extra 500 health in healing. Poor Groot, his ultimate was already the worst heal in the entire game. This upgrade is exceptionally terrible because even with this upgrade of a measly 500 extra health, his ultimate is still the worst heal in the entire game. As it stands, the only reason to use Groot in any endgame content is to empower Rocket. I am Groot must stand for do not upgrade.
Yeah, but you know which one you should upgrade? Coming in at number 1 is Yondu with his passive, where he copies and removes 2 positive effects on his turn, and this is up from 1. Now, Yondu, he's at the top of this list again. He's no longer getting a nerf, so you're free and clear to invest in him heavily. This upgraded passive, along with his current basic, allows Yondu to remove 4 buffs from an enemy team in 1 single turn. Absolutely awesome. And at only 200 ord match, this upgrade is a steal.
And rounding out our list, coming in at number 1 on the loser list, Winter Soldier and his passive, which gives 5% crit chance to Hydra allies. He is coming in at the top of the bottom, making his second appearance on the loser list. Winter Soldier, there's not much to say really. Adding a negligible amount of crit chance to a small subset of characters who already have the bare minimum crit chance is virtually irrelevant. This is only made worse by the fact that Hydra units are notorious underachievers and easily some of the worst units in the game, so there's little to no reason to invest much into them. This 100-year-old man is going to wait another 100 years before I'd upgrade this garbage. And that wraps up our top 10 best and worst orange mat upgrades. But we're not done yet. For this video, we actually added a bonus section for those of you in the 1%. So if you're among the few players that already have Star-Lord or Nick Fury, this next bit is for you. Our first recommendation for you 1%ers is Star-Lord's Ult, which adds 70% damage. Now, this upgrade adds 70% more damage, which means even without a crit or an offense up, when paired with Rocket, this ability can one-shot a few of the squishiest characters on turn 1. Since Rocket goes first, if he applies an offense up to Star-Lord, this ability will one-shot almost half of the characters in the game. And if you run Star-Lord a lot, I'd prioritize this upgrade for sure. I'm seeing a lot of Star-Lords in arena defense lately, and it's been a real blast. Now, these next two upgrades are recommended for the 1% of the 1%, those of you that managed to unlock Nick Fury. First and foremost, Shield Assault's passive. 10% crit chance to all shield minions and Nick Fury. Now, an extra 10% crit chance is decent for any team, but especially awesome for the Fury shield team because it takes them from 50% crit chance to 60% crit chance. In addition to all the extra damage, 4 of the 6 members have bonus effects that trigger on crit, like Nick Fury generating ability energy, or Shield Operative, Trooper, and Medic removing 25% turn meter. So if you plan on running the Fury shield team, this upgrade is critical. And finally, Nick Fury's Ultimate, which gives 40% more minion damage and a 50% chance to summon a third minion. So this upgrade is deceptively good. Yes, a chance to summon a third minion is good, and yes, summons doing 40% more damage is good, but wait, there's more. Nick Fury gains buffs based on which unit he summons. This gives him an increased chance to summon both varieties of minion, which makes him far more likely to gain both speed up and offense up, which he typically shares with his entire team on the following turn. Not only that, but both types of minions can make huge contributions on their first turn. A single extra operative contributing an immediate heal and 2-turn stealth, as well as 4 stacks of regen, makes a huge difference if someone was low, and they contribute an extra dispel with possible turn meter rewind if you didn't need the heal. An extra security can immediately stun a target if they were already slowed, or they can prime a target with a slow to set up a stun on your security's upcoming turn. All of those contributions are hugely helpful. So get this upgrade, motherfucker.
Hey, wait, Khasino, don't you have some things you need to promote?
Oh yeah, I suppose I should mention. Big thanks to ValleyFlyin for helping me out with this video. You can find a link to his channel in the video description below. Also, keep an eye out for an upcoming video on Valley's channel that I collaborated on behind the scenes, where he will be talking about turn meter and exactly how it works. Sorry I haven't put out more videos lately, I've been super busy, but I already have the footage for my next video recorded, so you can expect that later this week. One of the things that's been preoccupying me has been prepping for an upcoming trip. I'm happy to announce I will be attending PAX West. So if you're going to be in the Seattle area or attending PAX, let me know in the comments below. Otherwise, if you enjoy my content, please note I stream Marvel Strike Force every single day at 1 p.m. Pacific time over at twitch.tv/Khasino. I also do roster reviews where, among other things, I help people put together as many sure-to-win Blitz teams as they can with their current roster. You can find more details on that via my Patreon, the link for which will also be in the video description below. But that's all for now, so I will see you guys real soon. Peace!